Dasra leadership program has been quite a journey for us, and considering Dasra has been around for about 17 years, we actually ended up focusing about 8 to 10 years on what we called the accelerator program. And this was around helping organizations develop their business model and their business plan. The idea being that if you provide them a roadmap, then that sort of will help them achieve scale. But then we realized after a few years that the key success criteria to organizations achieving scale and impact is actually the capability and inspiration of the leader. And so investing in them, helping them be aspirational, helping them overcome challenges, investing in that would actually allow these organizations to achieve scale and impact.
So the first trigger was definitely looking at the email and reading about the Harvard curriculum being part of this program. That's what attracted me initially.
I thought it's a great idea for me to reflect on my leadership style and also to learn from others what they are doing, to look at both concerns within the organization and outside.
Because I'm coming from a finance background into the social sector, I didn't know what to expect, and I was kind of operationally trying to work on things, but how do I go about it, and what are the tangible goals, and how to make this sustainable over the long term? I had no clue.
When you're managing finances, there are also many other aspects in an organization one needs to take care about the strategy, about people management. So since the content of this program was focused on building those skills, that's why I felt like I wanted to attend that program.
So as far as the program is concerned, I think every component of the program is extremely cohesive, and that is why it works.
The content of the HBS cases though were picked from corporate examples, but they were very relevant to the non-profit sector, and you could use that in your day-to-day work.
The Harvard readings which in between the modules and the readings we had to do, that was good because it helped me think about things differently. You are forced to read, but then it's also how do you apply it? So it's not just theory. Interestingly, before I did the course, I was looking at leadership, strategy, sustainability. But I think for me, human resources impacted me a great deal. Suddenly it struck me that the way we recruit was, there's an opening, whoever's willing to work in it, we'll take them on. I did not look at their skill sets. I did not look at the expectations I had for their role. We did not even recruit based on our vision, okay, we want this to happen, so what sort of people should we be getting on board? So that thing changed immediately.
I think the introspection was extremely crucial, very, very difficult to accept in the initial stages because that you just don't see yourself from all the points of view that you need to as a leader. Also for me, I think to step up as a leader of an organization who is at the crux of scale was very important.
It's really helped Swayam Shikshan Prayog and me to look at what are the leadership styles within the organization at the senior management level, at the middle management level, and to try and reorganize our structure itself, make it much more focused toward building teams rather than implementing projects.
I've also got into a space where I'm mentoring more than getting into too much of operational work. That's a big shift for me because I come from a very operational background. Understanding challenges and successes of how other organizations work. Just step back from your daily routine and work to look at your organization from a different lens. I think this is a great opportunity to just do that.
Though you're working in an organization, you need thought partners even outside the organization with whom you can share ideas, you can debate. So I think that is very useful, and that we've been seeing the fruits of it even after the program.
I think we could have easily sort of got disconnected or looked at it just as a training program. But I think the perspective was provided by Dasra. So I think that was really important to keep us motivated, to keep pushing us and nudging us, saying, look, it's time that you take responsibility for your own learning, take more responsibility for how you want to change your leadership style, encouraging us to ask more questions, be more demanding for information.
One really big win that Dasra created was, I think, the way they designed the program, where they had 4 modules, but they were residential programs. Daytime, I can go and have a really serious conversation with you about what works and what doesn't, and in the night, you and I can party together and sing old Hindi songs and actually become great friends. Till date, I think I've picked up the phone and called so many people and asked them their opinion on various delicate and sensitive issues, and I know the answer that I'm going to get is completely non-filtered, right? It is genuinely what their learnings were. So I think that kind of support in this space is pretty much priceless.
I really like the whole goal setting thing. That actually, I think, really influenced the way I had taken things forward. Because that whole piece of goal setting and that aided by self-reflection, all the kind of goals that I put down for myself and the organization. It was interesting how Learning Links also kind of was going exactly through what we wanted to do.
In fact, I remember, once in a class we had this discussion on the whole founder-run organization. Almost like, for me, it was almost like being fly on the wall, right? Because you're getting to hear from people who are suffering through the idiosyncrasies of founders like me. They always say that one of the biggest problem NGOs have is the succession planning, right? It's not funding, it's not anything else. It is more about how do you do succession planning, and that was one of the things which me and Sunanda consciously try to work on.
One of the big learnings that I had while we were doing the HR piece was that just empowering the second line doesn't mean it's going to work, right? Because with empowering comes training on how to handle the position or the designation that you've now grown into. So there was almost like an aha moment for me at that time.
Being a social entrepreneur is extremely lonely. Many times your board, your organization, your funders always think you have the right answers, and there's very few places that you can go to sort of get support on some of the biggest challenges that keep you up at night.
Sometimes it's very difficult to know the exact impact of the leadership program, but I think something we've been successful in fostering is a sense of community. In fact, sometimes we've seen actually strategic partnerships develop from having been together and having this shared experience.
Harnessing the passion of these entrepreneurs through daily discussions, combining that with tools and methodologies to be more sustainable and effective in your work, we've seen the Dasra Social Impact Leadership Program create transformational changes both to the leaders as well as their organizations, enabling them to create greater impact on the ground.